Why do we come about this topic, unapologetic, embracing your unique vibe? I'm going to put it simply in 3 bullets. Why being unapologetic does not mean that you will be rude or arrogant, but don't shrink, be bold. Don't be too, how will I put it? Don't explain yourself too much. Just be who you are. The 3 bullets. God designed you intentionally. You are your personality, your background, and gifts aren't a mistake. Shrinking yourself is rejecting the way God made you. The other reason why this topic is going to be discussed or talked about today is that whilst mission needs bold women, this is what WOW is for. It stands for this. I haven't joined WOW for 3, 4 years. I understand what our CEO is talking about. And so we just felt, this topic will suit us. Skills training alone isn't enough. Women need the confidence to use those skills, prize their work, and lead without apologizing for taking up space or what they do. The third reason, just summarizing, is that comparison kills calling. Every one of us have some deposition. There is no to me. The way the CEO behaves, she has no duplicate. So trying to copy someone else's vibe keeps you from solving the trouble alone you are birthed to solve. We are people of purpose. Embracing your uniqueness sets you free to serve effectively. So these are the things so that we can all, explore. We can all affect our environment, the people we come across. We don't need to shrink that, hey, the African culture, or like Lady Grace said, that is all over. Be bold as a woman. Be bold to showcase your talent, your gifts, and all that. And the world will be a better place. So this evening, we have to take this topic, and I want to believe she will do justice to it because she is a seasoned speaker, international speaker. She's married with children. She resides in Sweden. She is a full-time lecturer and also a full-time pastor. So she is a PhD holder, Dr. Ebere Wednesday, to talk to us this evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Before she comes, is the Kenyan president with us, Apostle Ruth Munasia? Okay. All right. Yep. So, yeah, you can go ahead and just finish your introduction. So is our
Sorry?
speaker? No, are you done with the introduction? I was going to call.
Yes, she can continue. She can introduce.
Okay.
She's around.
All right. So, let me see.
Hello.
Yeah, Dr. Berry. Dr. Berry, ma, over to you. Yeah.
Okay, hello
The
everyone.
floor is
Hello,
yours.
there you are.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm glad and excited to be on the platform. Sorry, I thought the apostle was going to speak because I saw her picture come on briefly. I think I did because it looks like the person I saw on the flyer.
Oh, she's on.
Yeah, I think so. I
Apostle
saw her
Ruth.
briefly.
Okay, Apostle Ruth, if you're here, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, good evening.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, all right. Can you introduce yourself and Dr. Berry will continue, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening.
Good
I
evening.
am Apostle Ruth. Yeah, Manasseh from Kenya. And I thank God for today. This is my first time to attend talk show.
You're welcome.
And I'm ready to hear. I can't introduce much about the topic because this is my first time. So I'm ready to listen to everything.
All right.
So God bless you so much.
All right. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you
We
so much.
appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for holding the fort in Kenya. We appreciate you. And it's always a great opportunity to have people hold on to a vision and expand the vision wherever they are. So we really appreciate you for all you're doing as a president. God bless you. All right. So Dr. Berry, you can please go ahead.
Thank you so much for having me, my sister Grace, and greetings to everyone and to the CEO. We were supposed to talk, but I think our times couldn't fit in, so we just chatted, and I'm excited at what you ladies are doing. I invited quite a few people, or many people, but where I am in Sweden, people are going to bed. So it's 2:10. So in the evening. So maybe so many people might not show up, but I also think I've seen quite a few of them. And well, Bishop Kurt Ransom has spoken about me, has introduced me, and my name is Ebere Mweze, and I live in Sweden and I work in Sweden. And actually, when I sent this flyer to some people, they thought it was our church program because our church is Endless Praise International Church. So, so many people thought maybe the church is the program for the church, but I said, well, is women and endless praise is everything about God and about people also is endless. And I'm excited and I'm happy. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I am a teacher, so I time myself when I want to make a presentation so that I don't ramble. So I did write out some things on paper. So if you see me looking this way, I'm trying to remind myself that I need to move on. And I have a background in gender studies. My PhD is on gender studies and women's studies. And I've worked quite a lot with issues about women. So when I hear all of these things about women in politics, about education for women, long life learning for women, and all of that, I have some women not getting enough for the work that they do, that are the same work with men. All of those things are the areas I have worked in, and also trying to empower women in the different ways, not just by talking, by doing some things that are practical, that can help women at different levels. So some of these things I'm a lot of them familiar with. So when I was approached for this topic, I said, yes, we also need to tell women that they have to assert themselves, because there's a difference between being aggressive and being assertive. Being aggressive has some negative connotation. Maybe it comes with quarrels, it comes with not thinking things through before doing them. But being assertive is that you know you are, and you want to be show by what you are able to do that you are present. So I'm going to start this talk by saying that most times we live our lives based on what people around us think we should be or do. So we don't realize that we are unique individuals with different traits, with different temperaments, with different abilities. So we try to live our lives based on how success is defined within the society. Maybe if success is defined by having so much money, having such a high ranking profession, and if we don't have so much money, or being defining the standards of beauty, and we look ourselves and we measure ourselves on those definitions, and if we think we don't measure up, we feel something is lacking. So because we do that, sometimes we find ourselves frustrated because we are trying to pursue things that we are not prepared for. We don't have the abilities, we don't have the skills, we don't have the temperament, we don't have the uniqueness. We are not fitted in that way. So we find ourselves, surprisingly, we are frustrated, we are stressed, we are angry, we are disappointed in life. And sometimes also, we are so busy trying to keep up with what other people think we should do, or what the society thinks we should do, that we end up missing actually the calling that is in our lives. So when I learned about this topic, I felt that the most important thing we need to know is, who are we? Who are you? As a person, who are you? Well, this is a very simple question, but it's also one of the most challenging ones to answer for those who have not discovered who they are. So we need to know who we are, what we stand for, and not what other people define us or how other people perceive us to be. And of course, if you know who you are, if you know who you stand for, it will help you to be able to present yourself to other people, and in the most important aspects of a well-lived life. Because if you don't know these things, if you are not able to define yourself, if you're not able to say, this is why I am here, this is what I'm called to do, this is my strengths and my weaknesses, it will be difficult. You'll be presenting conflicting personalities or versions of yourself based on where you are. When you go to a different society, you are someone completely different. Because you are not able to define who you are. So who you are is supposed to be your personal brand. It's your vibe. That's your personal brand. It's the virtues you bring to everything. It's your deliverables, the things that you bring to your home, the things that you bring to your workplace, the things that you bring to the society, the things that you bring in every social interaction or transaction that you are. So though that is who you are. So if you're not sure of who you are. I like people to do practical things. If this is a physical workshop or a physical meeting, I will present a few paper for you to, I want you to write down your own personal mission statement. What are you about? What is your purpose in life? What is your vision in life? Now, you check the things you have written. Does the life you live now reflect what is important to you and what you want others to see in you? Can you look at these things that you have written and say, okay, I am living this way? Maybe family is important to me, profession is important to me. Those are the things maybe you have written about. Are you living the life that reflects that these things are important to you? That is very important for us to do, for us to know. So if you are not living that life, it means that you need to examine whether the reason you're living that is different kind of life is because you're trying to copy someone else. You're trying to compare yourself to someone else, or you are not even settled. You don't have the quietness, the calmness, the peace to be able to identify the things that are important to you and pattern your life according to those things. So embracing your unique vibes means being unashamed, being positive about and celebrating your gifts, your passions, your looks, your emotional makeup, your strengths, and of course, your imperfections. Because every single person, you have something that is somehow not so, I don't know, I would say it might not be something negative, but it's something that doesn't measure up. I will say it like that. So instead of conforming to things you are not going to attain, for example, maybe let's think that every single day you're lying down on your bed and you're looking at someone who has $20 million and living like that, and you are waiting, dreaming, hoping that, oh, this person takes 6 months cruise, boat cruise to the Caribbean every time, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And because of that, you will not take a short trip that you can afford to rest your mind, to rest your body. You're waiting and you wait, and you may never be able to have $20 million. You may never be able to have that all your life. But what has happened? Because you are waiting and you're not working with what you are at the moment, you miss out. And I can tell you, what you can enjoy when you are 30 years old and you're waiting to be 55 years old or 60 years old to have that 20 million, by the time you're 60, you will no longer enjoy what you would have enjoyed when you were 30. So we need to examine all of that. So when you embrace your uniqueness, your personal vibe, what happens? You have a roadmap to unlock genuine happiness. You boost your self-confidence and you cultivate a deep, authentic relationship by fully owning your unique self. And I want to ask us a question. Have you ever wondered why, when you get to an airport, they want to identify you with your fingerprints? They want to identify you with your eye color. Have you ever wondered why? There are about 8.3 billion people in the world. No two people have the same eye shape. No two people have the same fingerprints. Can you imagine that? 8.3 billion persons. Everybody has a distinct, unique fingerprint and eye color. And that means that God, who created us, intended us to be unique individuals. And we can look at some verses in Psalm 139 where he said, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I look at myself, and with all my imperfections, I say, there is no two Ebere. Ebere cannot be cloned. My own Ebere cannot be cloned. Many people can answer that name, but you are unique in yourself. And we are also told, when God was talking to one of the prophets, Isaiah, he said, I have called you by name. And God knows you. He said he knows the hair, every single strand of hair. And I'm sure when you pick out a strand of my hair and you pick out Sister Gracie's strand of hair, God will identify that this is uniquely a Beres and this is uniquely Grace's. And that is what God has done. Even we human beings, there are about 193 countries in the world. No two countries have the same name. I live in Sweden. And that is why we say, I am a teacher of English. And we say we have proper nouns. And proper nouns are unique names. No other country will answer Australia. No other country will answer Germany. And there are 193 countries plus 2 that are not full countries but are recognized. Now look at all the flowers that God has made. Every one looks different. There are different species of every single thing that has been made. And because of that also, we as human beings, we are different in looks. We have all something common that makes us human, that is different from other species of animals. But every single person looks different, has a different emotional makeup, have different talents, gifts, abilities, and dispositions. Even the ones we call identical twins, they are different. Even if they look so much alike, if you live with them, if you stay with them, you will spot even the physical differences. But beyond the physical differences, you will also see that they have completely different character traits. So we are unique. So why do we trouble ourselves to compare ourselves to others or with others? Now, could it be that this situation, this habit, has contributed a lot to the stress, disappointments that we have? We want to be like the Joneses. We want to look like the Joneses. We want to have what the Joneses have, but our names are not Joneses. So it becomes a problem. And here, I am not saying that if you admire something in someone, you shouldn't aspire maybe to see if you can have a way to get to that. For example, if somebody is very educated and you admire that, you can say, okay, I want to struggle, I want to work hard. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that there are things that are unique about us, that instead of us criticizing other people for what we are not able to get, or talking about them, gossiping about those things, why don't we stop flogging ourselves and celebrate the things that we have, whether they are character traits that help people? Why don't we celebrate those things? So I want us to look at a few reasons we stress ourselves so much instead of celebrating our uniqueness and also celebrating other people. Because there are two problems. If you're not able to own your vibe or celebrate your uniqueness, it's even difficult also for you to celebrate another person, because you're wondering, why can't I be that person? I don't want to be another person. I want to be a bearer. And because that's what God has made me with, everything that God has given to me. So I should be able to celebrate somebody else who is excelling in what God has given that person to do. And if I I recognize that I'm unique. I am complete as God has made me. It frees me to say, oh, this my sister is doing so well. How can I encourage them? How can I motivate them? But if I'm there always griping, why is it not me? Why is it this sister that has grown this international organization? Why is it not me? It's not going to be me, because probably that's not what I'm called to do. And at the same time, I am looking for a way to pull that other person down, because I can't be what they are, which I won't be. I'm not called to be that. But so, and at the same time, I don't help them. I don't encourage them. I actually criticize them and try to pull the person down. So we live in a copy-paste culture. That is one of the problems that we have. We live in a copy-paste culture. In fact, there is a lot of digital space which subconsciously conditions us to compare our lives, our appearances, and our traits to the thousands of edited versions we see online. I can tell you, when people put up things online, it's an edited version. It's what they want you to see. That's what they want you to see. So it's not real. If I'm not sitting here now making this presentation where so many people are watching me, probably I will, maybe you don't know how my hair looks. It's so rough. I will, when I'm going to bed or when I'm here inside my house, I will not wear this wig. But if I want to make a presentation and I want people to see me, oh, I say, okay, this is how I'm dressed, I put it on. So it's not the real thing. So we live in a culture where a lot of hype is happening about appearance, about people blowing up their achievements or what they are into. And most of those people that we are watching online, we never meet them in real life. So we don't know actually the real them, but we are fixated. So because of that, we want to conform. We try to blend in. And when you try to blend in, you don't want to stand out, because if you stand out, maybe you will be judged for one thing or the other. So why don't I just go along with every other person? Then we also have what we call the norm effect. You suppress your individuality. And what does it do? It leaves you feeling disconnected and unfulfilled, because you're always longing for something that is not you, that you're not going to get, because it's not your vibe. You're longing for it. So because you're longing for that thing, you are actually longing for a utopia that you are not ever going to reach. So what is the takeaway here? Comparing yourself to someone else is a losing battle. The reason is because a famous writer noted, be yourself. Every other person is taken. Every other person is themselves. So you can't be that other person. Now, how do you do that? You need to discover what makes you you. That is, you intentionally discover what makes you who you are. And I'm going to give you a few bullet points. Identify your distinct traits. Consider what draws people to you when you are at ease. What makes people want to connect with you? What are those things? What causes are you passionate about? What are your weird traits that make your friends smile? Some of us, or some of us here, a lot of us, all of us have friends. No matter how other people think, bad people think we are, or weird other people think, we still have friends that when we do those things, they laugh when we do those things and they just let it go. So think about this thing. Now, reframe the narrative. Instead of viewing your differences as terrible flaws or disadvantages, I am not saying that there are no flaws. I'll come to that. Recognize them as assets and the puzzle pieces that uniquely define you. For example, if you're someone that is patient and you can let people just give people the very long rope, And some other people will think it's weakness. But that is a strength that you have, in the sense that you are able to hang in there long enough to wait and maybe give those people opportunities to either change their ways or give them the opportunity to reconsider. You are there. You can always be there to do that. So it's considered a weakness by some people, but it's also some form of strength. Because what it means is that somebody can always come back to you after some time. When they have done something, they can have a rethink, and they can know that you haven't completely closed the door. And I'm not saying that one should keep a door open for an abusive relationship. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you can consider it to be something that can help someone somewhere. So what professions have you identified that your unique vibes can accomplish? Pursue that. For example, I can't be a nurse. I appreciate my sisters and brothers on this call that are nurses and doctors. I can't be a nurse, no matter how much you pay me. You know the reason? I can't see blood. If I see blood on somebody's finger, I will begin to scream, as if the person, in fact, I scream more than the person that has the pain. So I can't be that. So I admire the people that are in that profession. I had wanted to be a teacher when I was 12 years old. And as I finished my high school, my dad wanted me to be a lawyer, but I wanted to be a teacher. And people around me thought that, oh man, this is a waste of brilliance. But that was what I wanted to be. And that's what I still am. At whatever level I am now, I'm still a teacher. When I introduce myself, I say I am a teacher. And that is the only profession that I can do without pay. If I have enough money, maybe I win a lottery today and I can solve all my problems, money problems, I will spend my life teaching free, going to places and volunteering to teach people free. Because that, for me, that is something I am unique, I consider unique about myself. I want people to learn. I love the fact that you can get somebody who doesn't know something to know it. It excites me to do that. So we all have, so if I'm sitting there and I'm saying, oh, people that studied pharmacy or medicine, they are earning 50 times more than I am, I will be miserable and I will not be able to use my talents. So what ministry gifts do you have? Even God says that all of us are given different ministries, different things. People are different, and we will only account for what God has committed us to do. That's what we are going to account for. Some gifts are silent, some are open. If you're an intercessor, maybe nobody's seeing you do it, but that's what because God knows that you can remember to pray for so many people, and He gives you that gift. And that is what He will ask of you, whether you did it well or not. So your vibe is a combination of your background, your perspective, and your experiences. And it is what people remember about you when you leave the room. At the end of the day, this is what people remember about you. And what is the impact of your discovering and owning your vibe? What is the impact? You see, when other people witness others being emotionally engaged and authentic, it triggers a sense of ease and connection in them. When people see you as a genuine person, it helps them to also want to have a connection and to be genuine. And by boldly embracing your distinct abilities, you help others to step into their own authentic selves. You help others to come out of the shell. You help them and express themselves. And I want to tell you something. You aren't for everyone, and that is perfectly okay. I know that I'm not for everyone, and that is perfectly okay. Your crowd will find you exactly when you stop performing. and start living. Your crowd will find you. And finally, I want to begin to close. So we need to transition from a life of people pleasing to owning your space. And what are the things that you need to do practically to be able to do this? Now, practice daily mindfulness. Spend a few quiet moments centering yourself and tuning into your own needs rather than reacting to external expectations. What do I need? Who am I? What should I improve? What should I do to come out of this situation or to go on to another level? Set firm boundaries. Define clearly what you will and will not accept from others, ensuring your environment nourishes your growth. Remove yourself from high maintenance relationships. It drains you. It drains you. Keep so that you have a focus. Because if you're there, dragging yourself here, dragging yourself there, letting yourself be, because you need to meet expectations, you are not never going to be your authentic self, because you're worried all the time, anxious all the time, nervous all the time about how people are defining you. And people that define you like that are people that actually feel that are in high maintenance. They are not happy. They are not satisfied with who you are. They want to redefine you. They want to make you into the kind of person they can accept. And if you play into that, their hands, you will be confused because you're meeting so many people. So if you meet 100 people and all of them want you to be 100 different things, you transform yourself into little pieces of 100 things. So you need to do that. Share your story. Open up to people about your journey towards authenticity and invite people dialogue without, and go ahead and don't let there be judgmental spaces. Seek for improvement where you can and accept things that you cannot change about you. Be positive about your looks, your body, your achievements, and acknowledge your weaknesses. Now, I'm talking about the body. Body positivity is also important, but body positivity is completely different from also not doing things that, looking at things that you can improve about yourself. And you can do that, but you're not doing it because you feel, oh, this is how I am, this is who I am. What if the type of, maybe something that you is happening is not healthy for you? You don't have to continue doing it to say, oh, this is who I am. You have to. You don't have to. You have to do something about that situation. But importantly, you need to accept who you are and take care of yourself, please. Nobody else will. The reason is because every other person is taking care of themselves. So take care of yourself. You are responsible for you. Somebody that has a woman or a person with a unique vibe, I am responsible. If I'm healthy, I am responsible for myself. If I improve my economy, I am responsible for myself. Get some education on financial management. There are so many videos everywhere that you can watch to say, how can I start? What can I do? Because you are actually responsible for yourself. You are married. I am married. My husband is responsible for me, but I know that primarily because he cannot, if I decide that I'm going to be eating sugar every day until I get diabetes, he will not stop me. If I don't eat it where he is, when he goes out, I'll eat a lot of the sugar. He won't know. But I have to feel that this is not healthy for me first before another person can speak into it. Keep your mind, body, and spirit healthy, because when you don't, you are paving the way to cede control to other persons. Maybe you are sick and you have to be taken care of by other people because you didn't take care of what you're supposed to take care of. Your mind, you're not relaxed in your mind. You're not seeking for peace in your mind. And then every time you are struggling with going for therapy with psychiatrists, with psychologists, all this and all that, emotional problems, because you don't have a balance. Always remember that even God, who made us in his image, had to assert himself to Moses. Why did you think that God told Moses, I am? That is my name. He had to assert himself. There is no doubt. There was no doubt. But he needed to tell Moses that I am a person. I'm in existence. So do not devalue yourself. Recognize the importance of yourself. You are a woman of worth. So do not devalue yourself by always comparing yourself to others or criticizing your uniqueness. Do not do that. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. No other person can be you. And it's obvious that God intended us to be one of a kind. I am one of a kind. I look at myself in the mirror and I say, Ebere, there is no other you. If you don't do this, if you don't carry on with this, if you don't take care of this person looking at you on the mirror, nobody is going to do it. And trying to copy another person denies you of value and worth, because you will always have a vacuum that you are always trying to fill with another person's style, which is not yours. And finally, your uniqueness is your superpower. When you strip away the layers of pretense, you tap into a wellspring of personal environment, empowerment, resilience, and true joy. Try to own your path, celebrate your journey, and let your genuine light shine unapologetically. And my final word to you is embrace your unique vibes. There is nothing to be apologetic about who you are. I am not. With everything, it's a whole package where I have weaknesses and I have things I can improve. God help me, I will improve them. Where I have somebody has a trait and I like and I admire, I will try to say, oh, this thing, I like this about you. How did you do this? I will not go and say, I don't have this, so why does she have it? It's a problem. So if we're taking nothing out of this, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. There is always a place that you can fit in. Don't wait. Don't keep waiting. A year has gone, 2 years ago. You want to start a small business. You're thinking of, if I can't start that business if I don't have 10 million. Meanwhile, you don't have any plan to have 10 million. But there are businesses that you can do with 200,000 or 300,000 or 400,000 or 500,000 or 50,000. There are little things you can do. And I don't want to talk about that because I knew that I decided to learn skills that I can teach people who don't have money. I sat and I learned. I was doing my PhD and I was learning how to do tie and dye. I was learning how to sew, because there are women that I know that if they have those skills and they have just 10,000 naira to buy a sewing machine, it will make a difference in their lives. So why should I be going to conferences and talking of women empowerment? And there are practical things I can do, and I cannot help those people to do that. There are always something that God has called you to do. And please go ahead and start it. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. This is very informational. This is educational. Definitely, you're gifted in teaching. You've definitely taught us and you've given us great examples, and we are very grateful to you. And now we are coming to Sweden. That's who we are. The moment we see a country that we don't see on our platform, right away we're coming to Sweden. So I'm sure you already know that we've targeted Sweden. So There'll be a formal invitation. God bless you so much. So you're an hour ahead of Germany. So what's the time now over there?
10:15.
10:15.
10
Oh,
p.m.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to give people the opportunity to post in the text. When we give people the chance to speak, to ask a question, is a very simple question, but when we are allowed to talk, we do more than, so anybody that has a question, please put it in the chat. I'll read your question and Dr. Ibera is going to answer it. Please put your question in the chat. And in the meantime, so you mentioned that your focus is on gender and women's studies, right?
Yes.
Can
Yes.
you let us know what made you focus solely on that? Was it something in your life that you saw? Did you see something that was, I know that obviously as women, we see that it's always been not a fight, but an awareness of the privileges that we don't get just because we're women. Was there a particular story that made you choose that particular, even though your calling is teaching? Is there a particular instance or a particular story that made you focus more on women and gender and women studies?
Yeah. Actually, I used to read a lot as a young girl, and of course, I didn't also tell you that I am an author. I've published books that are on Amazon. If you put my name, you'll see my books. And I've published 2 full-length novels, one research book, and also I've had collaborations, books that I've written with people. The latest was published just last month. It was like a biography that I wrote together with someone. So I read a lot of stories when I was younger because I'm child number 7. So I had the privilege of older ones that were reading. So I started reading very early in life. And I had one of these, some of these writers that influenced me. I don't know if you know about Buche Mecheta. She was one of a Nigerian writer that also lived in the UK. She left Nigeria when she was 17. She's late now. And she wrote about how difficult it was for her to be sent to school because she was a girl. She was smarter than her brother, but they sent her brother to school. It was her real life story, actually. And she desired to go to school, and she would do all the homework for the brother and everything. And in a lot of the novels I read, I realized that there were a lot of issues, a lot of smart women actually, that they didn't get the opportunity in their own time. They were smart in business and everything, even in managing family uh, situations, making money, but they were so invisible. So when I finished I started from the beginning to want to be a teacher. So I went to a college of education and I studied English Igbo to teach. After that, I went and got a double honor degree in English education, how to teach English. And then I went and got a master's in literature with Caribbean literature. Then I went on and I got a PhD in women's studies and women's writing. So for me, I've always had this desire to know the stories of women and to find a way that I can help. To lifelong learning for me is important because I know that. And then I will never also forget that. And I will tell people that my dad was the first feminist that I knew because he had 8 children, 2 girls and 6 guys. And he told everybody that you have to get an education, and it doesn't matter what gender, the best is the person I'm going to keep paying school fees for. So it helped me because I knew that if you get an education as a woman, you are going to help yourself, you're going to help other people, and you're going to help other women. So when I was doing that PhD, and you had a lot of all these gender theories, women empowerment, feminism, womanism, and all of that, there are different strands of it. I felt, okay, I can go to conferences and talk about these things. But what are the practical things I can do? There are women that will never be in these conference rooms, but they need help. So what are the practical things I can do? So I started a center that time in Lagos, and I call it Women's Learning Center, kind of informal stuff. So I decided that I want to empower people. So what do I need to do? So while I was doing the PhD, I went to these Gambians and Sudanese people, and I sat with them, and I learned how to do tie and dye. And then I had another friend who was also empowering a lot of women that sewing. I sat and she taught me how to sew, because I know that these are skills. And then with the money of that time, when you have a bundle of brocade, you can make 8 pieces, four yards of 8 pieces of fabric. And then you can sell it to your brothers, you can sell it to your family members, and they want to patronize you. And after you have sold that first one, you can now buy 2 bundles. And then if they want somebody to sew it for them, you say, oh, I can sew. So, and a lot of women that I know will not have so much money to start a business. They started that way, and some of them are still striving. And I still do my tie and dye if I have the time to do it. And then I fix my clothes.
Wow.
So my tailor say it's difficult to sew for me because I'll find something that I need to fix in that cloth. So, and they sew it and they send it to me, and I say, you didn't do it. Say, because I know you're going to do it, because you sew, you can sew, so you know you can fix it. So that's what motivated me.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I was looking forward to your other questions, but it looks like you did an extensive explanation of, from the definition to finding who we are, our unique selves, that the hair on our hair is so unique, our eyes are unique, our fingerprints are unique. So you did a really great job explaining it. So I'm not shocked that there are no questions. So you've answered every question that could possibly come up. Jim Kamnele says, assuming one's unique vibe has been compromised, what can be done to bring back such vibe? I mean, a rehabilitation technique, someone whose unique vibe have been tampered or changed. Like somebody, I guess, yeah, it's clear, right? Any, any suggestion on if somebody sort of knew who they were and then life's trauma or life's issues?
Yeah, I was going to say the person wasn't specific, but probably through trauma, or maybe you have had things happen, or you have lost money in business and you are discouraged. You have been in relationships and you feel that yourself has been hidden, and that's why you're on this platform. You are with women that can help you to say that it's not the end of your life. You can return. What is happening right now? Because we can't. It's difficult. No matter how much we litigate the past, it has passed. No matter how much we do that. So what do I do? What are the things? What are the tools in my hands that I have? And I will tell you, I have had to start over in different places, moving from place to place. And when you come into a new society, I came into Sweden and I had to learn. Sweden doesn't speak English. I hope we know that. It's a second language, but they use Swedish. So it was terrifying. I moved from Nigeria to Abu Dhabi to teach in a university, and from Abu Dhabi I moved to Sweden, and the people thought I was crazy, because how can you move to a place that you can't even speak the language? But I moved, and it didn't matter whether I was earning maybe 20 million in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, where I was teaching at the university. You move to a different society, and there's a reality in that society, and you have to find a way to fit into that society, to start in that society. So you can't be lying down and crying every day, oh, I'm not earning money, this is how much I should have been earning, because you've moved. So the past is difficult when one has trauma, but it shouldn't drown you. It shouldn't drown you, because you have people that can help. You don't know the stories of all the people. There are 43 people on this platform. Everybody has a different story. People have survived things. People have come a long way, and people are still going to get into things in the future. That everything is fine now doesn't mean that in the future everything is going to be fine. So we draw strength from one another. So if you had that vibe and you lost it because of one thing or the other, it's still your vibe. You are the one that owned it. Nobody gave it to you. You owned it. So you can still climb out of it by talking to someone. That's what I think.
Thank you so much. Very well said. So our next on the agenda is Ask the CEO, where she gets to explain the vision and mission. That's a whole segment. So this part is done, but there's one more question. So I'm just letting everybody know, if you have another question, we gave you the opportunity. I'm only going to ask this final question, and then we'll move on. So the other question is, what if everyone in a relationship decides to be themselves, just like Dr. Vera mentioned? The previous speaker also said to be unapologetically you. Meanwhile, the other person is finding it hard to live with their attitude. What do you do? Does it not mean that you will be unhappy and miserable for the rest of your life, coping with their unapologetical attitude?
Well, I don't know the type of relationship that you
Sorry,
are.
can I come in?
Because if it's
Great.
Hold on.
Yeah, you could, if
Sorry.
you call on someone else to answer, maybe Dr. Eno, maybe other speakers, so that you don't exhaust her. This is a talk show. It doesn't mean that you have to be giving her all the questions. You could give her rest. She just finished speaking.
Thank
You could call somebody else to talk,
Okay.
so that she too can have breathing space.
Okay.
But she can continue if she's still fit, but you know what I mean.
Yes. Yeah. So you can finish your statement, please.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what type of relationship it is. If it's, I mentioned something about high maintenance relationship. Being yourself or somebody being themselves doesn't mean that they have to oppress another person by being themselves. It's still being, however we look at it, there are still considerable and considerate ways of being yourself. If this person that you're in a relationship with is your friend, your friend should have known you. That's why you are friends. You became friends. That's why the person is, except there are some traits you people hid from each other, and then it comes out, and after the friendship has been formed. If it's in a marriage relationship, boy oh boy, I can tell you that there are differences that still exist every day. You will still have to manage it, but I bet your partner will know that this is something unique about you. For example, I have a problem with removing plates from the dish rack. I can wash everything, but I'll pile them up, and the ones that are dry will be wet. And my husband will come into the kitchen. I say, oh my God, is it not easier to remove the ones there? Then he will remove them. Then sometimes I will remember to do that. But sometimes also, I will still put them all that. So he knows that that's him. Then he will just shake his head, a berry. He will just shake his head and he will do it. Or he will say, okay, now when you finish, please remove these plates. It's not something we quarrel about. It's a weakness I have. And for example, I will never lie on a bed that is not dressed. He can just go to bed and lie down there. And then sometimes I get so angry, I will dress my part of the bed. And I love my part of the bed. So it's when you understand the other person, whether it's your friend or your mom or your dad or your spouse, everything becomes play. Everything becomes friendship, which is very important.
Thank you so much. And I know we really appreciate you for coming. I mean, it's an honor for you to be here. And I know your time is, you exhausted so much of your time. If you want to go, that's fine. If you want to stay, that's great too. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank
So
you for
Doctor,
having me.
it's an honor.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome.
I would have wanted to hear one or two other people speak.
Okay.
But I
Now,
can be
is
sleepy
this
anytime because it's
okay?
almost 10:30 in my side, and I need to go to work tomorrow morning. Get up and go to work. So I need to go to bed.
We appreciate you. So Dr. Eno, if you can add to it, I know this is your unique topic too.
Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, whatever time it is. Thank you so much. Dr. Barrett, it was awesome. I learned so much from your advice to all of us. Being your unique self is part of my philosophy. It doesn't take a second for anybody that come across me to know who I am, because what you see is what you get. Some people are not comfortable with themselves and they try to hide. Sometimes the other person will pick up too. I feel being yourself makes you comfortable with whoever, with whatever situation. It also, for me, it brings out the best. If I cannot give my best, then don't even go there. So I am quite aware of the position of women in the whole world. There is no culture that women were not always placed behind. Men were everything, but the world have changed. Thank you, Lord. I'm so happy that the world changed during our time. Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
So that we do not just sit at home and take, whether you like it or not, you have to just zip it and take it. I am very, very thankful to the Lord for that. I still am very respectful to men, to women, to anybody. I do not limit who I respect. So this topic, when I saw this topic, I was like, wow. A lot of cultures have mended that. My own father told me, we were 5 girls and 1 boy. He said, what is the point of sending a woman to school? It's a waste of money. But my mom, even in those days, this I'm talking of in the 50s, in the 60s, my mom knew enough to send both the boy and the girls to school. She never mind. She said, and she taught my brother how to cook too. Whereas most people in those days, men were not supposed to cook. So my mom taught me a lot, even though she was in the boonies. We only had footpaths for roads. We didn't even have cars. But she was smart enough. When I look back to it, I said, wow, there's something like innate intelligence. What the topic today have shown me is the world have evolved a lot in all cultures. Women have moved forward. I'm so happy. Yay! I am so happy that we have not sat back. We are moving. It's very difficult with a lot of men to accept this. They still try to push us back, but we don't now. It ain't going to happen anymore. Those were the olden days, it is gone. So I am very thankful for this topic. We have learned a lot. Dr. Berry, thank you. To God be all the glory for this evening discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Yeah. I saw Reverend Father join. So Reverend Father, if you have something to say. And before you say something, I see there are some more questions. So I'm going to encourage everybody that when you go to your meetings in your chapters, bring this topic up, discuss it, elaborate on it. Okay, but we'll have to end with the last question. So Reverend Father, if you have anything to add regarding this topic, please go ahead. Please unmute yourself. And
yeah, thank you, everybody. This is Reverend Father Innocent Ekawo, talking from Nigeria, though my voice is a bit cracky. I don't get to explain that much. So many things have happened. It's a wonderful topic, very wonderful. I thank Bishop Ransom for choosing this topic and the way she explained it. I thank the presenter, Dr. Ebere. I also thank Professor Eno. Yes, that is where I am operating now, but from a different perspective, mainly religious perspective. A lot of people might differ with me. Definitely, it's a difficult thing, everyone being uniquely himself or herself in the absolute terms. There is a need for law and order so as to synergize, so as to, coordinate things. But my worry as it is now is I've come to the realization that life is largely more of narrations, storytelling. It is he who has the strength and whatever to dominate. And then that person's or that group's or that society's or whatever ideological narration takes, that's what reigns. That is the order of the day. And I link this thing for the fact that I hope everybody will not misunderstand me, for the fact that we don't see God one on one. So everything now becomes more of narratives, and people have grown with it. The life is more of a matrix, programmed thing. But no matter how you look at it, even with the society moderating this and that, and there's always an overflow. There's always an kind of overswing in terms of coordinating things. In as much as there is this imperfection in life, but there is that very important need for everybody to be uniquely himself or herself. Because I see, and again, I don't try to understand or interpret God like we are. God is much more, and God has given us 360 degrees freedom to do what his freedom, he cannot reduce it. But we human beings, organizations and others, we are those imposing these things and then, kind of using the name of God to stamp it. But life itself is a cross, like Christ said, carry a cross every day. I link it a little bit to my area of study, economics, when I teach students market structure. God is that perfect market, which is more of idealistic, modelistic. We try to approximate ourselves to his perfection, but we can never be perfect as he is. But we cannot stop struggling to be perfect. So this is where I see the problem of, synthesizing or kind of agreeing on how to move forward without being overly very, how do you put it, self-centered. Our self-centeredness always come up every now and then, but we still have to keep on making the effort. And that's why Christ came, that they may have life in abundance. So thank you very much, Dr. Ebere. God bless you.
Thank
God
you
bless you,
very
sir.
much, Reverend Father. In a sense, God bless you for being one of our wonderful trustees with Dr. Eno. And you've always been part of this organization from day one, and we really appreciate you. Not many organizations can have such great, wonderful people backing them, supporting them in every single way. God bless you so much.
Thank you.
So, I can see some questions still. Like I said, please do discuss this when you go for meetings. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So we're moving forward. Dr. Jessica, would you want to add something to it, or do you want to jump into as the CEO and regarding our mission, our vision, and all? You're muted.
I said, no, continue.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so next on the agenda, so if you can clap your hands for our Dr. Ebere. We appreciate you on this platform. We appreciate people. We do appreciate you for coming tonight. And we know this won't be the last time we're getting in touch. Oh,
Good night, everyone. It's to
good
11
night.
here.
Good
And
night.
Yeah,
and thank you so
that's
much
true.
for having me.
Thank you too.
Kachifo,
All right. So next on the agenda, let's see where we are. So the vision and mission of this organization, if this is the first time that you're joining us, most of the people on this platform are members. We are in 43 countries and counting. Am I current on the number? I know we are adding like new chapters almost every day, every week. The last time I count, I knew it was 43. So this is our mission. Our mission is to help other women see themselves in our transformative story, find their voices, and walk boldly into the future God has destined for them. So that's our mission. And please feel free to go online on Amazon for the books that our CEO has written. She's written several books. So Sister Chikamnele, if you can please post the Amazon link in the chat for me. And whenever you get the chance, please go there. Please look at the books, purchase them. I bought them. I bought all three books, and I binge read. One of them I finished in a week. Like, and then the next one, everywhere I'm going, I have the book. You really need to read these books. Thank you so much for posting the link. You don't want to miss out on it. You have to understand her vision, her passion, the things that she's done in years past. This Women at the Well is just the icing on the cake. What she's done over the years, you have to read it. You have to know it from the books that she's written. She is blessed. She is empowered. She is anointed for this generation. She's anointed for this this move. It's a movement. God bless you so much, Dr. Dr. Jessica Edmund. So next on the agenda, so our next talk show is going to be next 2 weeks. Next 2 weeks. So every other week we do the talk show, and next week, those who are members of this organization, especially the presidents, the chapter presidents, your vices, we need you to be on our meetings. Because how are you going to send your message or the message of the organization to your chapter members if you're not coming to the meetings? So please, I mean, in rare occasions, we do understand things happen and you're not able to join, but please make it a point to join our meetings every other week. And then the week after, we are going to be here to doing the talk show. So the next host country, we will be sharing the flyer, so look out for that. So we've talked about the books right now, and we are doing great with time. Dr. Jessica, do you have